Merry Christmas, everybody. It is great to see all of you. I'm Martin. This is Cooking with Martin, and I'm gonna get my camera angles. There we go. And so, yeah, it's been a interesting night, going to bed a little late, coming back from Mass, but it went well. Things have gone well. We have a furious set of things to do, and let's just kind of take a look at where we are right now with things. I'm going to switch to the phone camera. Um, so as you can see right here, we have all our pre-stuff from yesterday kind of done, but a few things had to be moved to today. This is where we are today. We're actually about to do the honey baked ham and the turkey. Probably start the collard greens as well, and I'm going to move that baked brie down because it does not need that much time to work. So we're just kind of moving down the list. If you kind of want to see some of the damage, where we're at, so I have my temporary staging table here. This is, if you guys saw all the apple pies, there are three of them right here. We have a pineapple upside down cake that we've made. We have our Oreo, I'm sorry, our M&M cookie cake, and we have uh, two sets of Spanish paella just here, and here's our sauce. I'm going to heat that up in a second and put it on its induction. That's actually the second paella that we're at. So just kind of cruising along, power chords, and I was just going to talk about the turkey. So I have my turkey fryer already going right now, and it's heating. It's going to probably take an hour. We set it to 375 because you want it at the hottest. Wait till that light turns green, and then we're going to work our turkey, but it's going to be heating itself up uh, for a while. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. And so um, he's kind of working a couple of things. Oh, I almost forgot right here. We got our bread. So these are the yeast rolls. As you can see, they are mostly risen. We, yeah, almost doubled. Yeah, there. You said almost doubled. Yeah, it actually has a little ways to go before we punch it down and form it into rolls. So putting it back up here. Why is it on top of the fridge? These rolls need to rise in the warmest place in the house, and the top of the fridge is that place. So where's my switching cam? Uh, so uh, back to here. So we are gonna start by working on our ham. So let's see if I can get my phone to react the way I want it to be. Yeah, so we're actually working our honey glazed ham, uh, and it's going to be bourbon glazed. So at the bottom, how hard is it to see? Let's see the close up. Well, it kind of works very well for the moment. So I have scored this into horizontal and vertical cuts, and then inside of the cuts, I'm putting cloves. Uh, you need to have fresh whole cloves and put that in there. And so pretty much I've gotten most of that in the right spots and nooks and crannies. Just a few little more nooks that need a little bit more clove. That flavor will go inside of the, somebody's texting me, just trying to find out who, because they have really bad timing. Um, and yeah, okay, it's people with bad timing. Anyway, coming back, if you're wondering what this is my new little toy. It's an egg cooker, and I thought it was like 10 bucks, and it actually makes things easy. These are a scotched eggs, so they're hard boiled, they're just kind of cooling down. Anyway, coming back to that, we're going to get a can of pineapples. If y'all who watched yesterday remember, I had pineapples for the pineapple upside down cake. Sorry, I just realized where I put that. And I had leftover pineapples, and so what we're going to do is we're going to put them on there. And of course, we're going to save the juice because the juice is going into the glaze. Um, And so we're going to take toothpicks um, and place them all around. And sorry, responding to people replying to things like really late. A text that I sent like a week and a half ago, but it's okay. All right, so now that we're done with the cloves, I'm gonna put them back. 'Cause, I usually get my cloves from the uh, Pakistani and Indian store that we have down the street. They're the best cloves ever, really cheap. As well as some allspice to my surprise. And we're gonna open this second can of pineapples really quick. I'm gonna put the plug back in. So I want to open that, and so that we have, there we go. All right, just want to get all that juice. May not use all the juice in the glaze, but we'll start. All right, so we're going to begin by just using a toothpick, placing these pineapple wedges all over. Now, this one's kind of broken, so it gets eaten because pineapples are yummy. You guys can see what I'm doing. And then once this goes in, into the oven it goes. But the oven's kind of occupied right now. It is roasting the turkey necks that will be used for the divine glaze, gravy, as I like to call it. All right. Also, at the bottom of this pan, I have put just a small amount of water and then a small, about half cup of sherry. Not cooking sherry, real sherry. Cooking sherry is crap. Tastes awful. You want to get real sherry from a liquor store because that's what it is. It doesn't matter if it's sweet or dry. You just want real sherry. There we go. I'm gonna turn this around, put all that juice back in. Oh, there we go. That's looking good. I think I have room for, I'm gonna move one of these around in the back. It's hard to see. It'd be nice to get a cameraman. That actually makes things easier. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna have a couple of leftover pineapple wedges, but that's good because they go in my belly. If y'all seen Austin Powers, get in my belly. Pineapples get in my belly. All right. And one more right here. And we're done. Oh, it just only leaves like one or two, oh, just one more in the can left. So that leaves me with two that I get to devour. Yummy. Now, we're going to make a bourbon honey glaze that goes on it, but for the moment, now we're going to put this aside because it's time to work on the glaze and a couple of other things. So now that's ready, we're also going to cover it. Yes, I'm putting the pineapple in my belly. hmm I'm going to cover this with foil. Let's see if I can stick this one. It's sticking out. Oh, I almost forgot the most important thing. Where did I do with them? I think I put them in the other fridge. The other thing you put is maraschino cherries. They just look really good. Got a little bit of flavor, but they just really look cute. Um, You put that, and in the chaos of yesterday, I don't know what because I had a lot of cherries left over, and I do not know where I kept them. Um, I put them in the fridge, but oh, I've rearranged this fridge so many times in the last. Um, hmm, oh, there they are. You know, that's kind of funny when you do things like that. You actually do exactly what you were supposed to be doing. So take a look. So bring these back. And so you're just going to, these are maraschino cherries. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. I'm just going to empty them. And we're just going to put them inside the toothpicks. All right, skewer them right in the center. We'll make these look really good. That's why you get the really big bottle of cherries if you're going to do this. They usually sell them at Kroger. Like I said, skewer them inside. I guess you guys can see. And that way. And just a couple more so you guys can see. I just have 3 more that I need, and I'm almost out of cherries, which is great. This actually worked out perfect. Mm, there we go. And now that is done. So now we're going to take this to the side because we're done putting our cherries on. And once my roast turkey necks in the back come out, which will probably be in a few minutes, we will proceed with baking this. Um, and all right, so now I'm going to cover this with foil. Just want to make it a nice tent because it's going to steam. I'm going to do a horizontal thing here. And then I forgot to show y'all what's on the stove and as well as the drinks and stuff like that. So I'll get that phone cam going. Oh, I screwed up. That was not long enough. That sheet will be used for something else. There we go. Yeah, you guys may be wondering where that industrial sized aluminum foil. I get that from Sam's. It lasts me about a year and a half. The reason why I like it is it's this kind of wide. So when I'm doing projects like this, it makes it so much easier to work that. So make sure when you're folding, shiny side up, and make a tent at the bottom. We are good to go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'll take this sheet of aluminum foil out of the way. And then we shall um, go back to the phone cam. There we go. So now we're about to some stuff. So the ham's basically ready. Um, and so what we're going to work on is we're going to prepare the turkey, and we're going to make our Boozy Collard Greens right here. I'm going to move the cornbread dressing to 2 o'clock because it doesn't need that as much time. It's very straightforward, but we'll probably get that. And I'm going to move that baked brie down to 3 because it just needs to be warm and ready. Oh my God. Yeah, this is the beauty of having sticky notes. You can do what you need to do. Um, exactly. So that's what we're going to do. We're waiting for the oil and we're going to fry the turkey, but we need to prepare what we need. But before I do that, I wanted to show you guys the drinks. Uh, Brian here, he's still wrapping presents, but we have um, this is a apple cider. We have hibiscus tea steeping there. It's actually hot, but it will be poured over cold water, so it's there. And then what we have over this here is meatballs in barbecue sauce. That's already done. And then we have our divine turkey broth. Very important. You have to have broth when you're doing holiday stuff. And then what we have in the oven is roasting turkey necks, which we're going to take a look and see how they are working. Um, uh, did I get that right? Oops. It's hard to. Let's take a look and see. We take. Oh yeah, they're doing great. So we're taking turkey necks and some turkey wing parts. These come in great, and they are roasting in sherry and uh, dark sweet wine. And so these just need to cook just a little bit more in steam. So we'll keep them there for another 15 to 30 minutes, and then we'll put our ham inside. Uh, so that's kind of where we're at right now. Put my phone cam down and my switching. And so I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup and then a little bit of mini prep. So I have one piece of pineapple left. I'm trying to get that out because that will be going in my belly in a second. I'm going to toss some of these cans away. But before I do some tossing, just wash a few dishes right now and get ready for the next step, which is we're going to prepare our honey glaze, our bourbon honey glaze, and get that going. I hope you all are having a Merry Christmas. Um, let's see if you're not. Oh, I forgot to get my Facebook because I haven't figured out how to get all the chats together. But I am going to work that right now. I had a workaround. I just did not minimize my. There we go. All right. Hey Rebecca, how you doing? There, now I can see my chats. All right. Uh, at least the ones on Facebook. So we are grooving. All right. All right. So as I was doing the mundane stuff of washing a few dishes just to get them out of the way before we start with a couple of things that will occupy our stove, like cray cray. All right. I hope you all are having a Merry Christmas. It just warmed up here. It's like about 50 degrees or so. I mean, it's really nice. We've had massive freezes here in Houston every night. First night went down to the teens, to 17, and I know for you northerners that sounds like nothing. But for us here in Texas, we're not used to that. It's not supposed to get that cold. So it really isn't. Okay, before we make that glaze, it's probably a good time right now for me to show you guys how to work a turkey. And it's time to do the injecting and get that ready for the next phase. So I'm gonna put some stuff up and let's see. We have we have our eggs, that can stay right here. Oh, we have our fresh herbs that need to be used for other things, so we're just gonna keep them right here because keep grabbing these fresh herbs. I just bought them yesterday. They were on cut in half because they're supposedly about to spoil. They got like 3 or 4 days of life, but they're getting used. All right, so now this is here. We are going to, I'm going to keep this on the main screen. We're going to drain our turkey that's been brining since Thursday, and the extra turkey parts that I have. And so these are sitting behind the camera, so I'm bringing the bucket over. Oh, it's so heavy. It is so heavy. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna make sure I don't spill. I know. Yeah, I can see it's this giant bucket here. And we're gonna wash crud out of the sink. So hopefully y'all can see what I'm about to do. Okay, we're gonna see if we can move this out of the way, and hopefully the camera will sit still. Uh-oh, camera's trying to fall off right now. Why is that angle not working for me? There we go. All right, actually, it's on the wrong sink. Let's see what happens when we try to do this. There we go. That should work. Yes. 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 Uh-oh. Move that gimbal the right way. I'm still getting used to these things. I have an interesting connector here. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. All right. So we are going to take our giant bucket filled with brine, and we are dumping it all into the sink. Yes, you notice there's apples and oranges in there. You're going to see rosemary. This is the reason why I needed to have this come into this sink, and I'll dump some of it into the other one. But I wanted all the fruit. We're just going to toss that. All of that's been sitting here in the tank. There we go. There's our turkey. We'll wash that bucket in a second as soon as we get the turkey out of here. But yeah, so get everything out. You want to have this turkey. This is a 21-pound turkey. We're going to be frying. One of the things you need to make sure is you always save the slip of paper that comes with it, because you need to know the exact measurements, because that's critical, because you need to do fry it for 3.5 minutes per pound, and if you do not know how many pounds it is, this doesn't work. So anyway, I'm doing this just kind of, and I use both of my sinks to get the stuff out. All right, so now we're just gonna toss all the veggies and fruit and just kind of get them out of the way so that it makes it easier to inject stuff. So yeah, it looks kind of gross, but these were good. These were good eats. They season your bird immensely. We're gonna. Alrighty. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. There we go. Okay, getting the rosemary and the thyme. And as you're wondering, I didn't do a video brining because I actually brined 2 days early. I wanted to make this extra special, but brine is equal parts salt and brown sugar, not white sugar, and a little more brown sugar than that. So if I had 2 cups of salt, I'll add 2.5 cups of brown sugar. And you need to use kosher salt. If you're going to use a different kind of salt, like sea salt, you need to use less salt because the salination is incredibly high. The salinity, sorry, is incredibly high. So, all right, so we're gonna put this little thing here back, and we're gonna bring the turkey back, and we're just gonna drain and toss extra thyme. And so once you add that into the brine, you bring it to a boil, and then you will add spices. So I typically add allspice berries, Jamaican allspice berries, and a little bit of cloves into the liquid. Bring it to a boil until all the salt and sugar dissolves. So I'm going in here into the turkey, making sure I get all the things out. You want it dry in the cavity as much as possible. So oftentimes what I'm doing when I do this step is just kind of like this, just to make sure this little fat area where they hide the neck and the giblets, make sure you have taken those out before you brine. And then making sure the insides are there. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to get the turkey ready for frying. And the first step we're going to do is we're going to hold the wings akimbo. So if you're looking at my screen, we're going to make the turkey do this. Um, like that. That makes a better presentation as opposed to being like this. So we're gonna make them akimbo, and the way you do that, and I learned this from Julia Child. You take the wing and you fold it back carefully up right behind that neck piece. Do not snap the neck. See, and it will hold in place. Take that wing, fold it back. This is holding it akimbo. There we go. And you notice the presentation. Now, I would also cut a little bit of this flap. If you were roasting it, you could stuff this, but when you're frying like I am, you don't need this much of the top fat right here. It's just gets in the way. Go. Next thing is I want to make sure that the legs are positioned underneath this little flap here. Otherwise, you might need to tie them down. There we go. And now we are good to go. And so the next thing is injecting. Injecting. So you're like, what do I use to inject? I use Tony Chachere's Cajun. Cajun flavored Creole butter is the best flavoring for a fried turkey. You need to fry in peanut oil. Do not try to cheapen on the oil that actually changes the flavor of your turkey. If you've not, yes, peanut oil is very expensive, but it is worth it. You don't do this that often, so it's worth the splurge to get peanut oil. Um, and I know it is really expensive. It doubled in price. I used to get a container from Sam's for $29.99, and right now it's $56 for the large container of peanut oil at Sam's. If you know, wondering what I'm talking about, here is that container. Sam's and Costco have them, but this is what that peanut oil looks like. It's huge. And you're not going to use all of the oil, use half of it in your turkey fryer. Definitely you need to have an electric turkey fryer. Those are the safest. So I'm going to go straight to close-up. And as I said, Chinese Chachere's Cajun Creole butter. Make sure you shake it. Cut it. And checking to see if there's any questions I have online. I don't see anything, so woohoo. All right, type in chat what you guys are doing. Where are you guys hoping Santa brings you today? I would love to know. I would love to know what y'all are expecting. Santa has already brought me a whole lot of things before Christmas, so looking forward to that. So I'm just assembling the injector right here, and there we go. Just trying to cut all the little plastic crazy that they have here. Okay, we're going to use our knife. There we go. All right, so we need to, uh-oh, what are we doing? That was not supposed to go into studio mode. Exit studio, thank you. So what we're doing here is we're trying to get all that particulate at the bottom out. And now you open it, and there is just so much plastic stuff sealing these containers. It's not even funny. All right, so now we are going to take a full draw of this. I like to put it in the other sink in the middle. Take a full draw of this. Start at the breast, and we want a full injection into the middle of the breast. Take another full draw. Hey Lisa, how you doing? Good to see you. And There we go. Hope you and Josh are having fun. Hope Santa has treated your family and your kids well. And so put them into the breast, then I go here into the other side of the breast, and I'll inject one. Um, and then I'll take another full draw and go. Now this breast is really here. I don't know what this part is, but this is the other white meat. That's the white meat. All right, so now you've gotten your full draws there. Now we're going to do the dark meat. We start with the thigh here, and we're also going to do the under with a full draw. The angle doesn't matter as much as long as you don't hit a hole where it's coming out, because sometimes they poke the turkeys just as they're preparing them for sale. You just want to make sure. All right, so once have done each of the thighs with one, you want to do the under. I'm a dark meat guy, so you want to do right here um, on both sides. This incredible flavor. And turkey, we'll usually use almost all of the choni shastris. There we go. All right, so now we have used 2/3 of the bottle. Now it's time for catching up on other things. I always like to put, after I've gotten those, I actually do more in the breast because a lot of people love, oh, good, good. I'm getting a text storm from people. I love that people are communicating, but it's distracting when you're streaming. Um, Trying to make sure there's nothing happening with people. So I'm just kind of getting other areas. And once I have the main areas covered, I do use the entire as much as the entire bottle as I can get. You just kind of get there. And then the last area I go for is the wings. That's my mom's favorite spot, is the wing. Okay. And when it gets too complicated to draw it out, I recommend switching to a thin glass. And I'm actually going to use, you guys see, a wine flute, and pour this in. It just makes it easier for you to draw the rest of the, there we go. So it's kind of like that, because this just makes it easier for you to draw in there. So now we're going to go after the wings. We're going to flip the bird over, grab it by the neck, because you don't want to break your akimbo-ness. And you want to go into that meaty section right here. Hope you guys can see. It's too far off. Okay, there we go. Right here. And it's not going to take a whole one. You'll feel it resist you. See? So it's not going to take a whole injector. But you want to get some in there. If you don't have, there's enough in here, but if you don't have that, go there. Make sure you don't break your akimbo, and flip it. Oh, here we go. Oh, 20-pound bird. And it's actually softened a lot. The brining's purpose is to soften the bird. There we go. I'm going to get in to that muscle. And get a lot of it in here. There we go. I forgot to do that on the other side. Right here at the joint. Go. I just have a little bit of Chinese sausages left, but I actually have another bottle because I have additional turkey parts to marinate. So this works out rather well. I'm just gonna get a little bit back here. Action done. I'm just gonna leave this wine flute here. And now we are done. Not quite. Next thing is we're going to salt lightly, not very lightly because you've brined, and choni shasharis has a lot of salt. We're just going to lightly salt. I'm washing my hands right now with seasoned salt, not regular salt. You want seasoned salt to give it that nice brown color. So you just kind of want a dusting, but before we do that, we're actually going to do that in its frying basket. So when you get an electric turkey fryer, it has a frying basket. I think I left that outside. Yes, I did. And so I recommend putting that frying basket on a tray. You'll see, I'm actually walking outside because it is sitting outside. My oil is almost there. It is at 360. I'm waiting for it to get to 375. Just got my basket. This is what it looks like. Um, and I'm gonna put it in this tray just so it's there. So we're gonna work this in the other sink, but we're gonna do this. And the way it works is the legs go here on the other side. See, like that? That's how it sits inside. You want to make sure that's even. And we're now going to lightly dust with seasoned salt. It just makes it easier if you do it here. I don't quite care about the back, just very light, 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 light. That's it. And you're donezo. And so we will take this out, and I'm actually taking this outside so it's ready to be put into the oil. And I'm going to come back in a second, and we're going to season the other bits. What are we talking about? Well, I have extra turkey parts. So, and the reason why is a lot of people here. So you can always get a leg or a thigh or and all these other pieces. So you go for it. So have a second basket here. And so now we're going to go back to the same process that we had before. We have another container that has been brining thighs and wings, and they will fry after the main turkey fries. And so I have them here in this nice little container. Yep, this looks just like before. There we go. So we're just gonna drain that like before. And you're wondering, what's all this brown stuff? This is sage, dried sage. Because I wanted to try something, because I ran out of sage, fresh sage. So you notice there's rosemary, blood oranges, regular oranges, apples and stuff. Just gonna have these on the other side for a quick second. I'm gonna toss these pieces into the pot. That way I can wash it later. Just easier to toss all of that at once. That's why you want to have a strainer. Do not put this will clog your pipes. So that's why you want to have a little strainer over your sink. So we're just getting the rest of these out. There we go. All right. And we'll do a little washy, washy, washy. All right. And again, if you, as you're wondering, the purpose of brine is to to soften the meat. That's the purpose of brine. So it softens the meat. Use it for both frying and baking. So we're going to put this down here. And we're just going to, I don't need to get any of the stuff off. I just want to get all my pieces sort of in there because we're going to inject each one of them. So here's a wing. I'm going to see if I can turn it akimbo because that will make it fry better. There we go. Stay. There we go. There's another extra wing. This is for mom. And akimbo. There we go. All right. Washing my hands. Like I said, you're wondering what all that brown stuff is. That's just dried sage. Rubbed sage, it's powdered sage as opposed to fresh because I didn't have enough. I needed the fresh herbs for the roasting of the turkey necks. I didn't buy enough. So, all right, So we're gonna open our second bottle of Chinese chasseries because we do have two, because I knew I was gonna have extra uh, turkey that I'm gonna need to make. So I bought a second bottle. Um, don't need to connect the thing, and I have already the part that I already had here left over, so we'll just draw from that. Just kind of keep an eye on the time. I keep forgetting there's more. Man, there's more thingies. There's a lot of plastic waste that they put to seal this stuff. Shake, shake, shake. And remove the last plastic covering here. All right, now we're at the promised land. Go. All right. Let's start with the remaining from the first bottle and draw from the rest of the Chinese strawberries. There you go. I always like to start with the legs. When it's separated, you have to be careful that you don't get blowback. When it's separated from the turkey, it can actually come out of the side, so just watch it as you're injecting. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah, a full one of these per part. So see how it's sprayed out there? Because there's a hole, so I missed a spot, but that's okay. Two more legs, and then I'll do the wings. So here's another one. I'm going to go deep, and hopefully it doesn't come back out. There we go. And get to the other side here. There we go. That's the last leg, extra leg. See, as you're doing it, just make sure it's not going to fly out if you pop it into an artery. There we go. All right, now, so how it fries, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put the legs at the bottom and then put the wings at the top. It really doesn't matter because it's a deep, deep, deep fryer. So it honestly doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to go, this one's going to be hard because typically it will try to spatter out. There we go, there we go. I'm going to get here inside of the muscle right there. There we go. I'm actually going to do a little bit more on the other side of that muscle. And so one of the things about brine that's important is the salt does not go into the meat. The brine changes an equilibrium. It's kind of an interesting chemical reaction that's happening between the water that's in the frozen turkey, or it doesn't even have to be frozen, that's in the turkey, and the water that's in the brine. That salty brine creates an osmotic pressure difference that causes an exchange of liquids from the outside. It creates a pathway from the outside in, but the salt stays. So basically the water on the outside tries to go inside and the water on the inside tries to go out, but the salt stays on the outside in the brine itself. So, but when the water travels into the meat, what happens is it will take flavors. So that's why we have the rosemary, we have the citrus. All of those flavors go with the water from the salt that is with minus the salt going into the turkey. And then the water inside of the turkey goes out to where the salinated water is, where the salt. So it's an interesting chemical reaction happening using osmotic pressure differences. And I don't know who figured out to do things like that, that's what happens. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to get all up in the nooks and crannies. Here we go. I have a little left over, so we're just gonna do that right there. Good. Now we're done. So I'm just gonna pour the rest. We have leftover Tony's, which will be used for something else. Washing the outside because I have covered in chickens, turkey stuff, so you don't want to contaminate your fridge. So sure you wash. And now we're gonna make sure we lay things flat because I want an even color. So we're gonna turn. I might actually put that piece down here. Yeah, that's better. And then we're gonna do something like that and that. There we go. So now I'm done with the turkey prep, and so I'm gonna lay that in a tray. Have these metal trays, and right here, I'm just gonna put this in here, like that, and be careful. And we're just going to lightly salt mustard, and because these are how they are, just gonna, do a little turny, just like that. Lightly salt. Oh, gotta be careful. I have a lip on this, so it's just if you move it too hard, it falls. Here we go. Yeah, turny. There's a little too much there. That would be okay. All right, now we put things back the way they were, and we are good. That's that. That's a wrap, folks. So we are good. So now our turkey is prepped and ready to fry. I'm gonna take that outside when I go outside. Just gonna move a couple of things out of the way. And I can smell the divine. I think it's done. Let us see. Is it done? I'm gonna put this in the sink so I can make sure it's done. What am I saying is done? I am hoping that my turkey necks are done. Roasted turkey necks. Let's see. Because what we do, oh yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, we need some phone cam action on this. It's good stuff. So let's take a look at that. Uh-huh. And you can test it by just taking a piece of the meat. See if it's ready to fall apart. Yeah, it's hot, but oh yeah, it's done. And what we want is this liquid, and you're gonna keep it covered. So I'm gonna put it to the side and keep it covered. That liquid, we are going to boil it in turkey broth and thicken it, and that will become our gravy. So this is good. So now we're going to go put our ham into the oven because it is time. While it's cooking, we will make our glaze. There we go. I'm going to put this roast turkey neck here temporarily on the stove, but it's going to move very quickly because I got to use that stove. So let's see, put our cutting board back, and we're just going to get certain things out of the way. Yeah, it's garbage. Yeah, do a little bit of garbage run. See you, Lisa. And I don't know how many people are online. How much it says? I have no idea. Oh, 5 or 6 others. Hi, Ben. And like I said, I really need to figure out how to get all my chats in one spot. Make this a lot easier. All right, so I'm going to the board, and we've done the prep ham. Where is the jubilation ham? We've got to mark that off. Okay, so we're going to work on the collard greens and the glaze right now. So bring out the pot for the glaze. Hmm, it should be enough. You know what? Why risk it? We'll get the deeper pot and get that ready. Um, I'm gonna take my camera out here and we're gonna go out and see what's going on. Is the oil ready? Can't tell. Close. All right. Well, this means we can actually start frying our turkey. And yes, this is used oil. So this is the oil from Thanksgiving because you can use it twice. Some people say, nope, nope, that's not true. You can use it. I'm walking back in here because I'm missing a piece. Hold on. I'm going to put my camera down um, and switch to the main scene for a second. I'm missing a piece that you use the turkey lifter, and I think I brought it in here and accidentally misplaced it because you cannot lower the turkey without that part. Here, it was just here a second ago. And take this out so I can keep it outside. I actually thought, oh, I see where I put it. Sometimes I planned ahead and I actually laid it right in front of where it was supposed to be. So that works. So excellent. We're going to switch back to our camera view, our phone. All right, phone view. All right, you guys can see what's going on here. So the part that was actually sitting right here, ready to go. So I'm gonna use my, I think that's backwards, there we go. Use my dominant hand to lift. So you lift like that. And this is an electric turkey fire made by Masterbuilt. These are $100. They're so much better. And so you're gonna lift. That's why you wanted to let this set for a little bit. And it is going to steam. One of the nice things about this is it has that lip on the side. So it gets heavy. So you can start seeing the burn. There you go. And cover it immediately. That's it. And then open it for a second. There you go. A lot of steam. That's because electric turkey fryers are so much safer. They can never catch on fire because of how they're designed. If you do an open flame fryer, you're risking your life. It is worth it to pay just 20 bucks more. I mean, I think these are about $100. A normal turkey fryer set's about 70. It's worth it for $30. These work so much better. They hold their steam. If you see these little rivulets right here, that's where all the steam and water goes. And so normally I would turn the fire down, but I know that when you put turkey in, it will lower the temperature. So we're gonna come watch the temperature and see how it is. It's already gone off of green because the temperature has lowered. And that's the extra turkey that we're talking about right there. So I'm gonna put this here in my grass, just dump it. And I'm gonna lay this right. Um, but we leave the important lift and cover. So now we have fried our turkey. Again, I have to do the calculation, but it is 3.5 minutes per pound. Um, 3.5 minutes per pound, and so let's see. Uh, it's funny. I took 2 years of calculus, and I can't do basic math in my head. 8 point. There we go. times 22.2. So that's 77 minutes. We're going to cook it probably for 80 because it's a big bird. And so that's going to work out well. And I'm going to switch back to the main scene. All right, so we're going to cook it for 77 minutes, which is 8. I'm just going to make it 80. So we're going to set our kitchen timer to 80. There we go. So it tells me when that turkey's done. So we'll periodically go back and we're going to check on it periodically. So where we are now, we are going to move this hot mess of turkey necks of awesomeness off of the stove because we need to do a whole bunch of stuff on the stove now. So we're going to be making the glaze. And that's going rather well. Okay, sorry, just checking something. All right, so now toss these veggies and fruit in the trash and wash this container. Need it out of the way and get our giant bowl ready for the dressing. There we go. Any questions coming up? Or hey, Shannon, great to see you. Merry Christmas. Uh, Good to see you again. I miss you guys. Hope your son and daughter are having fun. They're so big now. I haven't seen them in such a long time. There we go. All right, just a mundane things you have to do. You got to keep your kitchen clean when you're doing multiple things at the same time. That's how you got to keep it moving, baby. Move in. All right. So we're gonna need to reposition the camera so you guys can see kind of what's going on. All right, that's done. We're gonna move the camera here. Hopefully, actually, I have a feeling I need to do this little action. Let's see what happens when we switch our views. Oh, that worked perfectly. Much better than I thought it would. All right, so time to put our glaze into being. So this is a bourbon honey glaze. So yeah, I'm not kidding. You need some bourbon. So that's here sitting on the top of my fridge. Let's see, Black Label Lambrusco. There we go. All right, sour mash bourbon. We're gonna use this for our collard greens too. So about 2/3, a cup of bourbon. We're gonna add a whole cup, cause why not? There you go. Never add alcohol to an open flame. Notice I have not turned the flame on. That's very important. You will cause a fire. That is not a good thing. And so this is our bourbon. We're going to take our cup and we're going to spray it with cooking spray. You're like, why are we spraying your cup with cooking spray? Because it's time for the honey, baby. So the cooking spray keeps it from sticking to the side when you're pouring it into the container. It just makes it easier because honey's thick. So we're going to spray our cup with cooking spray like that. And we're going to add 3/4 cup of honey. This is uh, this is pure honey. You can get doesn't really matter the version. Now you can turn your flame on. Like the guy from Fantastic Four, flame on! Yeah, if y'all don't know I'm corny, now you're learning. I tell mean set of dad jokes too. So now we're going to turn that on. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to add um, a I actually needed a cup. Sorry, I almost got those. So we're just going to add more honey. Just eyeball that. Um, so that's good. Leave that on. Then we're going to add brown sugar and a little bit of molasses. So you want about 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I'm just going to eyeball that. It's not an exact measurement. And let that dissolve. And then you get 1/3 cup of molasses, which will add that really nice brown deep color that you love in a honey baked ham. And you want the dark molasses, which is the good stuff. So that's this. Again, spray your container. You don't want to add too much. So molasses are messy. Go 1/3 cup. And use your spatula and get it. It makes it so much easier when you spray it down. And just keep stirring. And we're going to cook it until it reduces by half. The other thing we're going to add, pineapple juice. Adds that pineapple flavor to it. Huh? Yeah. You can taste it. Oh yeah, this is going to be good. I can already tell I didn't add enough brown sugar. So you're just going to let it boil. And I'll put that on another burner while we start making other items. Gonna make sure my my stuff doesn't fall. And so yeah, so that's there. We're actually gonna leave our bourbon out because we're about to make some collard greens, baby. Neely style. Y'all know, I don't know if y'all remember the show called The Neelys. Um, they were a great show. Fufu. I am not doing fufu today. I actually have some soup, but I have some okra soup. Who is that? Alcatraz? I may be reading your name wrong on Twitch. So I will be doing some of that for New Year's cooking. So right now, as we're making our glaze, um, trying to get my close-up back. There we go. We are going to just keep stirring for a little bit, and I'm going to move it to another burner. Just trying to move things out of the way. I'm going back to my list and marking some stuff off. The fried turkey and the glaze, and then, oh, we're actually quite right on time. Just need to work on collard greens. Oh, and I almost forgot I was going to add a little bit more brown sugar. As I could taste, it was not sweet enough, so. There you go. And I'm probably going to add a little bit more honey because I'm making more than the recipe says, because here's the beauty of this. As you make this glaze, you're going to glaze some of the ham with it. And as a matter of fact, as soon as it starts going, sometimes you put some of the glaze on it before you start baking it. It's going to be okay. There we go. As they say. And awesome sauce. So good. Just making sure. And as you all can see, there we go. That is just boiling. You're just going to kind of reduce it to half. So I'm just going to let that keep going. I'm going to move it over to this burner because this burner has meatballs which are going to go transferred into another container. I'm just going to put it on my staging table. And then I'm going to do a quick look at the turkey just to see how it's going. Turkey is doing great. It is doing great. Oh, uh-oh, boiling over. Gotta be careful with that. Oh, boiled over. That is not a good thing. Oh, okay. We're gonna fix that in a second. Have to be careful because this is sugar, so we're actually gonna get this off of here very quickly. I'm just gonna back to the main scene because I should have walked away before it boils over again. There you go. There you go. You just have to watch it. There we go. All right, because this is sugar, it is going to stick, and so we are getting this off of the stove very quickly, right now, because I do not want to have to clean that up. Hubby is going to be mad at me. Let's get that burner off. See, right now it's just liquid, so it is easy for it to stick. I'm just trying to prevent it from boiling off. There we go. Just have to keep watching it to make sure it doesn't boil over. And so what I'm doing here is just getting the boiled over, because if I don't do this now and continue to cook, we're going to get burnt caramel smells, and we don't want any of that. So I'm going to be right back. I'll see y'all in a second. everybody, we're back. I had to clean up because you do not want to deal with uh, sugar napalm. When it dries, it just does not come off. But we have everything back in order now. I'm just kind of switching views here. So we have moved this to the burner here, so it's just kind of doing its little thing here, just reducing on a lower heat. And just kind of keep watching it. And yeah, so our next thing is we're gonna make some collard greens, baby. Oh, gotta get my giant Dutch oven. Ugh. That was a wedding gift. I love this Dutch oven. All right, so we're going to make Boozy Collard Greens right now. To do that, I've already pre-cut. You need a lot of bacon, bourbon, onions, already to go, and then we can start. So took bacon lardons, which is not really lardons. There's this set of really cheap bacon because they're irregularly cut, and I've sliced them into little squares. So we're going to turn our flame in and go because we're going to reduce this. While we're working, we're going to get some of these things out of our way. So that we can start doing other things. And while we're doing that, we're going to take a quick look at this. At I knew something was off. I must have set a timer on my apple cider because it turned itself off. We're getting our pan hot. So I have a whole onion here, chopped already, and I'm about to chop some garlic. Right now I have a little garlic press. Uh-oh, why is it not? There we go. The garlic press is kind of misbehaving. Now I have a manual press if this thing doesn't want to work. There we go. You want it quite pulverized, and there we go. It's done. Now this is hot. We're going to add our bacon, and we're going to render it. I'm still stirring our glaze. And it takes it a while to render, but we are going to keep going. Sorry, there we go. The wrong scene there. Yeah. On high heat, we're going to be rendering. I have my stock here already ready to go, and I'm going to have to put our remainder of our pineapple juice, because we're right now done with it, into another container. And wash my giant cup out, because we're going to be using that to pour into another spill. There we go. Not too much this time, just a little bit. Bacon's starting to reduce its juices, but takes it a while. Yep, we're just doing that. No questions, okay? I don't know if there's anybody. American drive-through food with chicken sauce, minimal, it's good. Oh, that's great. Alright. Let's see. So we're making Boozy Collard Greens, and we're rendering our bacon, because it's gonna cook for a while, so just gonna leave it here, because now it's just producing water. We want it to produce fat. When the water and fat dry out, and that's when we know we're good to go. Alright, our glaze is almost done. Here's our glaze. Oh yeah, it's good. Oh, it is really good. Other than that, I want to add just another shot of bourbon in it. I'd already turned the fire off. I'm turning it back on. Mm, yeah, I'm stirring with two hands. That's kind of what you got to do when you're cooking a lot. Waiting for that bacon to go. hmm What has Santa done for y'all today? If y'all are here, I'd just love to see what you guys are getting. Mischief. Uh, I hope you guys are doing okay.
It's good.
So now we're going to go
Uh-oh.
put our ham. Accidentally pressed my live screen. There we go. Had it on the wrong screen. Started playing right back into me. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Our bacon is rendering. Yay. Once it's fully rendered and fried, and we want it actually crispy, then it will start releasing oil. So now you see all the water is gone, but it's in a second it's going to start releasing a whole bunch of fat, and that's what we're going to fry the onions in. Yeah, if you guys if you want to know how to make Boozy Collard Greens, you just go into the show called The Neelys, and they have it right there. On the Food Network. All the recordings. The show's been over for a couple of years, but what the recipe for Boozy Collard Greens is right there off the Food Network. Uh-oh. My phone decided to press a button because it got a drop of water on it. Oh, yep, all that oil is starting to come out. Check on our ham, see how it's doing in there, and its nice little steam bath, because it is about to get yep, it's time for some basting. Yeah, that is doing great. Yep, our sauce is doing great. So it's gonna get interesting. I'm gonna put it on the main screen because I can't hold my phone and show you guys at the same time. There's just too many hands. Need for too many hands. Bacon's rendering rather nicely. What I'm gonna do is turn off the glaze. I'm gonna start. Don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing, but it's too hard right now. There we go. And so I just wanted to get that going. Now we're going to switch to the big spoon, and we're just gonna pour this glaze all over the ham, all of its nicks and crannies as it's baking, and get everywhere on that ham with this honey glaze, and then we're going to continue to glaze it. Let's make that tent. It doesn't need to be as tight. There we go. Oh, actually, now that I have this, what I can do is I can kind of show you guys what it looks like. So this is what this looks like right now. Um, where's my other? Yep. Here. In fact, we're gonna turn it around so you can kind of see. So that sherry at the bottom, the ham is gonna drop more stuff. So this is kind of what I was doing. You're just gonna baste it like this, a little bit, and then you'll take a basting brush later. You just want to get all the nooks and crannies. Okay. All right. And for those of you wondering, what about the bacon? Oh, it's just rendering. It's almost done. Now I am gonna put that tent cover back on. Put that ham back into the oven and cook because it needs to get out of this oven. Because I need my oven. You know what I mean? Because I need it for other things. All right. Back to kitchen stadium. I'm teasing. Um, Here, as you can see, bacon is fully rendered. Oh, you don't care about that brown stuff on the side. That's good stuff. That fond is good stuff. That's good eats. It's not burnt. Uh, Sorry, Dutch ovens are really good. Oop. Okay, it's rendered enough. We're raising the heat back up, and we're going to add our onions first before we add our garlic. We don't want the garlic to burn. And since this is onions straight out of the fridge, it will lower the temperature a little bit. So now I can add my garlic. All that garlic's good stuff. Yep. And so we're going to cook the onions for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes in the bacon grease. That's going. I'm going to go outside and check our turkey. Should take my cam, but it's charging up right now. It's been up. It's been used way too much. It's awesome. And so as it keeps going, we're going to add a cup of bourbon. I think the recipe calls for less, but yeah, we're putting a cup of bourbon. Like we're finishing the bourbon. It's a little over a cup, but it's not much left, so we're just going to finish that. As it cooks, we're going to add salt and pepper. It's just regular salt. We're gonna add some black pepper to that. And we're actually gonna do some seasoned salt because the seasonings work really well. And yes, this is on really high heat right now, so I can move this along. Almost there. So I'm going to get my brown sugar ready. We need about half a cup of brown sugar. There we go. There we go. And we're going to turn our flames down so that we don't have boil over and fires. And we're going to add our bourbon. Deglaze the pan with bourbon. Once it's added, you raise the heat back up. See that boiling? That's deglazing happened, baby. As that's happened, where is that hiding? So let me reorganize my pantry. What you want to do is you want to add a little bit of vinegar, preferably apple cider vinegar, but I cannot find where my apple cider vinegar went. I do have regular vinegar right here. Less regular vinegar if you're going to use it, if you don't have apple cider vinegar. I think it's hiding here, right in front. Yep, it was hiding right in front of my eyes. Isn't that how life happens? Make sure you give your apple cider vinegar a shake, shake, shake. You're gonna keep stirring. And it's a good idea at this point just to give the liquid a light taste. See if you get the salt right. Yep. I actually could use a little bit more seasoned salt. And you'll season it as you add the collards. So at this point that it's burning, not burning, boiling, it's time to add your collard greens. And where did my collards go? Oh, they're there. 2 giant bags of collard greens. Industrial size bags of collard greens, y'all. Yep. And we will add them one at a time. Actually, this could use just a touch of more brown sugar. Because I'm making a big batch. Because I told you I have 20 people coming over, so. Well, it's the last thing of brown sugar I need today. It's going to be awesome. And this is not enough liquid because we're going to be adding. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. I have a ham hock left over, and we're just going to toss that into the into the greens. Lime hocks are great, add a great smoky flavor to them. You don't have to have them. I just happen to have one, right here. I'm just gonna toss that into the bottom. So its flavor, as it dissolves in the liquid, it will put that flavor inside your collards. So I just realized I'm on the wrong scene, so we need to be there. So actually, I think we just need a close up that way you guys can see everything. So we're gonna start adding our collards. So you want that liquid, but we're actually gonna add more liquid to it. We'll do that in a second. There we go. So I have my turkey broth on the other side. I'm going to add a cup of turkey broth to this. We're just going to keep adding collards and pushing it down because it's going to wilt down. Yeah, you're like, this thing's going to hold these 2 bags? Yes, it will. I did it at Thanksgiving. You just kind of keep going, pushing down. Should be able to get the first bag in here by itself. And then, that's why I like Dutch ovens, because I have a heavy lid. There you go. I'm leaving it on high heat so that it can simmer. And get all the other pieces of collard greens accidentally dropped behind my stove. I just want to, oh man, I'm in a mess here. I know it's not hot because I haven't used the back burner all day. I'm about to. And then I'm going to move this around. So we're going to cover this so it can steam and then reduce. And then we're going to add the other bag of collards. And that's how this goes. Any questions for anybody? Oh, okay. Alright. I'm going to take a quick break so I can use the restroom, and we'll be right back to make, because I'll keep adding collards, but we're going to start doing the cornbread stuffing. We're gonna have a Zoom at 3 for Elizabeth. All right, we are back, and where did my switching camera go? I was doing a little bit of cleanup while we were there, and I have misplaced my switching camera. I was moving a whole lot of stuff around here in the kitchen. All right, it will appear like it always does. There it is. It was right where it was supposed to be. So we're going to do the stove view, uh, close up in stove. There we go. All right, so this is our collard greens, as you can see. Sorry, I have my other dish here. There we go. This is I moved this to the other side, as you can see. Collards are boiling, and they have reduced. And I've already added half of the other bag of collards, so we're gonna see if we can get the rest of the bag of collards in. And yeah, just stuff it in. And that's where the heavy lid comes into play. Yeah, all of this is going to fit in this. And then it wilts, and then you will mix it. Collards need about 2 hours minimum to cook because they are very tough greens, very tough spinach. That's why you just kind of keep adding it in batches. See? Yeah, oh, that's right there at the top. Yeah, it's over, but the beauty is we have a heavy cover. Bam! And it is in Wilt City. Good eats. So that's where we are there. I'm gonna turn that fire down. Give her a glaze here. There we go. Keep that there. I'm just gonna wash a couple of things just to be ready. Yeah, we're gonna have a family call shortly, so I'll end this soon. But where we are is turkey still frying. The first turkey has about 15 minutes left till it's done. I will take my camera so we can go take a look at it. Where's the phone? There we go. Alright, we're going outside here to our turkey. See? It is doing gloriously. Yeah, well, the top is gonna brown. So, uh, getting back inside. So, he's doing great. We're gonna glaze our ham some more, but we're gonna start on the cornbread dressing. I'm actually going to check on our ham really quick. It's time for another glazing. Oh yeah, it's doing great. Hmm. Yeah, that ham is slamming. And you can use a baster, but because of the nature of this ham, it actually is easier for me to glaze it with a spoon. I'm gonna cook it on cover from this point on. Alrighty. Okay, we're looking for a giant pan. Alright, it's time to start making cornbread dressing. So, cornbread dressing is a couple of things. It's a recipe that my friend Kathy Riemann taught me. It's her grandmother's recipe, and I've been making it all these years since she taught me how to make it. Makes the best cornbread dressing. You're going to need sage sausage, and since I'm doing a double batch, I'm going to use 2 sage sausages. You're going to need green onions, parsley, celery, and 1 regular onion, all chopped. Uh-oh, I get my camera up. And so the first thing we're going to do is have 1 sage sausage in here, and I have a bag for the rest. And this giant bowl will be used shortly. I get my sage sausage from Kroger. I'm sure it's still good, but I was like, oh, that's quite good. I don't know why it separated these from the fridge. All the other ones were somewhere else, and this one was in the main fridge, which I didn't quite get why I did that. So I'm probably getting old. I do weird things these days. I don't remember why I do them sometimes. I tell y'all young whippersnappers, don't get old. So yeah, we need 2 things of sage sausage. If you can't find sage sausage, you're going to need to use regular sausage mild and put lots of sage, like half a container of it. Not rub sage, ground sage. There's a difference. Ground sage is more concentrated. And what would happen is as you are doing this and browning it, you would put the sage. I'm actually going to add more sage later if it doesn't taste right. But this is a recipe that you need to be very careful with the salt, because it will go salty on you in 10 seconds. Definitely get your little meat cleaver. Yeah, I'm going to have to end the stream in about 15 minutes. So we're having a family Zoom, so we will get as far as we get to. Yeah, and I'm just going to brown it on high heat. Keeping an eye on our collard greens. These are wilting beautifully. Okay. And then and just keep browning. I'm sending a text to my brother right now. And you're just kind of breaking this up. And this is sage sausage. Once it's broken up, it doesn't have to be done. It just has to be, cooked enough to be broken up, because it's going to break up some more with the veggies go in. To this, we're going to start adding our veggies in about a minute. We're going to add half a stick of butter. Yeah, increase the fat. And by the way, you do not salt any of this until the very end. Otherwise, you might get too much salt in your dressing, and that is not good. There's no way to reduce that. No amount of dried onions can get you past that. There we go. You're doing good. All right, time for some butter. Move that butter to the bottom of the pan. Yes, once the butter is melted, we start with the onions, and then we will add the celery and then the parsley in that order. This is about a cup of onions, green onions, so you're going to need 2 bunches of green onions, a whole onion, a whole regular onion, minced, and I just keep them together. You can put them together at the same time. These are my onions and the green onions minced together. And then you need about half a head of celery for this double recipe, and you need 3 things of parsley. Take most of the stem off. You want most of the leaves. You can cut part of the stem. You just don't want the entire stems of the parsley. Parsley, it's not bad. It's just you don't need all of that. All right. So we have now put our onions in. Interesting. We actually need more butter. You want some fat showing up at the bottom, so we just kind of add more as we see fit. So not cooked. It's got a beeping for the turkey. Let's see if it's done. I know it's not. I'll be right back, and I'm just checking on the turkey while that's cooking. Mm, Yep, yeah, the turkey, even at 80, needs more because it is kind of cool out here and it's cooling the oil. Yeah, turkey just needs a little bit more time. Yeah, it's time to add our celery. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to this. Oh, it's done. I'm gonna add needs more fat. So this sausage did not have that as much fat as it normally does. So, because you should be seeing a lot of liquid, so we're just gonna add the rest of that butter. So you have it around. This is not diet food. So we're just kind of cooking things, cooking. Checking out our collards. Oh yeah, they're doing glorious. Hmm. Oh yeah. Notice how the sausage is broken up more. And it's time to add our parsley. Turn it into the Emerald Isle. Ah, as they say for Ireland. Ah, I can't say it right like they do. One of those places in the world I've always wanted to visit is Ireland. Yep. So we're going to cook this. While that's going on, we're going to move our camera here, and we're going to uh, do our cornbread. All right, where did I hide my kind bag of cornbread? I put it here on the table so I could easily get to it. Yep, there it is. So you need a bag of herb seasoning, and then you need a bag of cornbread stuffing. So he's got the store-bought variety of these. You can see them. And so we're just going to open it while that's cooking. Mix them together. This is my giant bowl designed to do double. That's the regular, that's cornbread variety. And mix that together. There we go. And to that, you'll add 1 packet of saltines. So you just want one of these things of saltines. You're just going to crush that into the mixture. This is, as Alton Brown would say, is the software, so you're just going to crush it. If you have slightly older kids, preteen, not infants or toddlers, but maybe an 8 or 9-year-old that wants to help cook, this is a great thing for them to do. Mush, you want to pulverize that, and once you do that, as you mix it all into the cornbread, now we have our stuffing. This will be our stuffing. There we go. We're actually going to put the mixture we've been cooking into here. And so let's go back to where we are. Yeah, this is cooking quite nicely. Lower the heat. Yes, it's basically done. And then once this cools down, we're going to add it there and add some broth, mix it up, and bake it. We'll also add 3 eggs into it to help it bind. And it's at this point I taste for sage. Oh, it's cooking here. Taste, see. Yep, it needs more sage. This is my container of sage in here. Dried sage. I can tell the sausage, it's okay. It's just, it doesn't have a lot of fat. It didn't have as much sage in it. If you want to make this vegetarian, you just take out the meat and put all the vegetables in regular oil, not olive oil, and sage them up. Don't add salt into the end. You're going to add salt into the stuffing, not into the meat mixture. Yeah, do it with sage, and then use vegetable broth instead of my turkey and chicken broth. That's what you're going to add. So that's that. All right, y'all. It's been awesome cooking with you guys today. We're having our family Zoom in a couple of minutes, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Y'all have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'll probably cook for New Year's. We'll see. And hope Santa treats you well.